So now that I've offered you an understanding or perspective of what SkyFire Academy means and what the balance between opposing forces in our lives might look like, I'm going to offer you a couple of practices which can help ground this perspective and make a difference in your life. So the two opposing forces that I talked about are gratitude for what already exists, acceptance of your life just in this moment exactly without any changes, and the adoption of a certain goal and a direction in our lives. So the gratitude practice can be done anytime, but I recommend it in several specific moments in life. One is every single morning, that just arising from bed, you might splash your face with cold water, maybe do a little breath work, and then immediately go into a gratitude practice. And so gratitude for not only what you already have, but then also for the dreams that you have and the things that you hold dear for the future. So you might spend a few minutes right then after you've woken yourself up to really think about and envision, close your eyes, sit with your spine straight so your neurological pathways are all clear, and you can just envision the people that you really appreciate. See their faces in your mind's eye. Feel how you feel when you're with them. They could be your family members, or if you're not close particularly with your family, they could be your really close friends. It could be your romantic partner. It could be your children. Whoever it is that really brings you joy in your life, remember them and appreciate them. You can also put yourself in the places that you really enjoy. Whether you love to go to the park and sit and feed the birds, or whether you like to go to the beach and just watch the waves roll in, or whether you like to go mountain biking and roll down extreme trails. Whatever places it is that you find yourself in your life that you can be really grateful for, envision yourself there. Look out of the eyes of yourself when you're there and drink in the beauty of your life. And you can also think about the things, either the things that you have that really bring you joy or the things that you do. Now, as you do an exercise like this, you're going to be releasing certain kind of chemicals in your brain which are associated with the moments when you're actually experiencing those things. And these kind of chemicals, when you're thinking about things that you really love, they will actually improve your immune system, and they will have a lot of impact on your biological function. And so what we're doing is an exercise of using the power of the mind to affect the body and create results in your life. And by really embodying the gratitude for those things, really sinking into appreciation, what you're doing is you're bringing those things closer into focus. And so I'll give an example of why this is really important. Let's say you read the news. If you're a person who reads the news and you look at what is going wrong in the world, an increasing amount in your life, it becomes a larger and larger part of your awareness. And you become aware of all the things that are going wrong in life. And maybe you begin to lose sight of the very amazing and beautiful things that still exist. Even though those challenging things exist, we don't want to deny them or ignore them, because they can actually have a tremendous impact on our life if we do that. But we also don't want to allow looking at the bad section of the newspaper to become our whole life, right? If we have a gratitude practice, what we're doing is we're sort of moving those things aside and bringing in beautiful, loving, healthy, strong, amazing things. And we're balancing our perspective of life. And so the gratitude practice of doing that every single morning is really, really helpful. You can also do it before you eat, because that's a time when you can be really grateful. Hey, I have something to eat. And it's a thing that we often take for granted. But there's lots of people in lots of places of the world that can't take for granted their next meal. And so we could just as easily be one of those people. And if we remind ourselves, wow, this is a thing for which I should be grateful, again, we're bringing balance to our perspective in life. It's a practice that helps us embody that perspective of gratitude. So that's a couple of different places that we can use the gratitude practice to help bring appreciation into our lives and hold that end of the sort of balance of whether or not we should really appreciate and accept what is currently, and whether it is we should move forward and do different things. So what's a practice we can do to help us move into that next phase in our life where we're doing things a little bit differently and bring even a little bit more joy and excitement into our life? Because it's very natural to grow, and people who don't do anything different with time find that there is stagnation in their life, because nature grows and changes and transforms all the time, and if we don't do that ourselves, then we get this nagging sense that there could be more in life. So I recommend several different practices. One is really paying attention to those moments in your life where you feel joy. Journaling every night can be a very powerful practice where you're beginning to anchor all of these experiences that you have so that you're able to reflect on them. So journaling every single night, even just for 5 minutes, what are the moments of my day that I really loved? Who was I with? What was I doing? And really making sure that we make note of the best parts of our life. Oh, I listened to a song that I really like. Actually, I really like music. Maybe I should listen to music more. Maybe I should go to concerts or things that people do to gather around the beautiful music that they love, right? So journaling every night. What were the things that were really beautiful about my life? And then maybe what were the things that were kind of challenging? Who were the people that I was around when those things were challenging? What was I doing? What was the emotion, or what was the feeling that I had inside? Just journaling about the highlights and the low points of your day. And then every Sunday, or whenever it is that you want to choose an anchor point for this, once a week, you review all of that. And you actually take your schedule and begin to add more of what you really love. Oh, I'm going to listen to music every Wednesday. There's a thing down at the local club that that they do every Wednesday night, and I'm just going to go down there. I'm going to listen to more music in my life. Or, I really love that person. I'm going to make a weekly date with that person. I want to hang out with them more. They really bring a lot of joy into my life, and I'm really inspired by that person. I'm going to bring them into my life a lot more. I'm going to send them a little note telling them how much I appreciate them and that I'd like to make a regular date with them, and see if they feel the same way, right? So, this is a way to take the kind of random moments out of our lives, collect them, organize them, and actually use them to build the life of our future out of them. Now, there's another part which is a little bit more of a deep reflection. So that's something you can do on a regular basis, maybe every week. But really, at least every year, it's nice to take a step back from your life. Some people do it in a retreat. They literally will retreat, go somewhere, a log cabin or wherever it is that they want to go, so that they have some time and some peace to reflect on their life. And it's good to observe what it is that you've been doing, where it is you've been. You can also take these journal reflections you've been writing throughout the year and take a particularly long time to kind of peruse them and really think about them. And then, observe what is going on right now in my life. What kind of a job do I have? Who are the people that I'm hanging out with? What is it that is happening in my life, and what does it really look like? And then when you decide, all right, these are the parts of my life that I really like. These are the things that I really appreciate. And these are the things that I'd really like to change, whether it's your job or whether it's your partner or whatever it is that you find that is something that is, bringing difficulty in your life. You can start to create a plan. All right, well, if I'm here and I don't really like this, what does it look like when that part of my life is magnificent? What does it look like when I really have, a fulfilling experience in that way in my life? Now, for a partner, that could look like I really need to change the way that my partner and I are relating to each other. It might not necessarily be I I need to change partners. It might be, but definitely understanding that there is something that isn't quite right here, and I need to do something about it. I need to maybe, if I myself don't have the tools or the understanding to bring this thing to the next level, maybe I need to get help. Maybe I need to reach out for a mentor. Maybe I need to watch some YouTube videos, or whatever it is that you want to do to move that part of your life forward. Dedicate yourself to those things. Create some sort of plan for yourself. Start to equip yourself, or plan to equip yourself with more information or more tools so that you can move in the direction in your life that you would like. And I have a more sort of systematic process for this that we have with the Academy, but I'm just offering the general idea that at least once a year, if not quarterly, stepping back from your life and really looking at where you're at, where you would like to be, and then creating some sort of systematic plan to get there. And then once you begin to walk down that road, once you've committed to that plan, like, no, I want to see myself in that kind of life, I want to feel and experience myself in that life, and you commit to those actions that are going to move you in that direction, then that's the moment where you can just enjoy the journey, because you're on the path. I think that a lot of the suffering and the misery that people experience in their lives comes from feeling sort of lost about where it is that they're going and what it is that they're going to do. They know that they want some sort of different experience than what it is that they're having, but they haven't really taken the time to step back from their lives, assess what exactly isn't right about their lives, define what does it look like when those things are going right, and then create a systematic path there. Because once you have that kind of plan in place, you can, to some degree, enjoy the ride. Because really, we're always going to be moving to a next place and a next place. There's always more to do. There's always more refinement to make. And there's always another place that we could be that's even maybe more magnificent than where we are now. So therefore, we can't attach ourselves to that goal so strongly that we're failing to appreciate the moment that we have now. We need to enjoy the ride. And that, to me, is more the magic of happiness than anything else, is knowing that as long as you have identified where it is that you're going and you have a plan and you're acting on your plan, you should be happy. You should feel fulfilled. One thing that it's almost kind of impossible to feel fulfilled in the context of is a life where you haven't really examined what's going on, and you're kind of getting tossed left and right, back and forth by all the circumstances of your life. It's very, very difficult to feel fulfilled that way. But once you've at least taken the time to step back, to assess what's going on, to create a goal for yourself, and to move in that direction, that's the moment when you can, really enjoy the journey as the destination. Because the rest of our lives is always a journey. And once you've, committed to being conscious about that and directing your intention and your will to creating that, you might as well enjoy the ride. So I hope these exercises have been useful to you, and much love, many blessings.